And here we are in another best of three here, this time featuring Aftermath's Theory in the Blue Infernal. And once again, Ethel Chan's Elf in the Red Infernal. Starring in every game so far tonight has been Elf, my favorite player, who submitted me this replay pack as well, and you can find it on the uh, Stormgate Discord, official Discord. We got a GLHF coming out of Elf. And we got a scout. That was interesting. Theory scouted, but then turned around. I wonder what that was. Maybe. Maybe he made a choice. I think random number generator based maths are healthy. That's Elf's passive aggressive way of saying, I hate this spawn, which is definitely not favored when you're on this map. And the reason is, of course, Theory spawn up here is closest to the speed camp, which means Theory is going to be able to creep it first. Although Elf, it looks like, is actually going to try and steal these units. Now, this is a technique called leashing or dragging the units across the map. And she's just trying to keep them aggroed on her while they get closer to her units so that she can steal them while Theory is basically stuck with nothing to creep. And this is a strategy which is a little bit controversial, and that's just because the behavior of the Shadow Mastiffs is considered to be bugged by some, and this is not intended to be the proper behavior. And so some tournaments ban it, not necessarily for the creep jacking that we just saw, which I think is not necessarily unhealthy, as it's sort of okay interaction. It's because you can be really trolly with it and leash them back to your opponent's base and then have them attack your opponent's base, which is kind of, that doesn't sound like the thing you want. Now, that was a real nice little battle there. We've got really great Gaunt micro here, and we're seeing Elf. Elf's got a few more, but she did lose her Hexen, I think, unless it teleported back. I didn't see that. Yeah, so it's only Theory with the Hexen on his side, but of course the Hexen is not super for DPS. It's those Skulls of Shudda and the ability to create fiends. No plague axes yet for either of them, and a nice little sort of circle around trying to go for Elf, trying to get on top of these units while they're creeping, but they managed to turn around. And the Shadow Demons are aggroed on the Fell Hogs, so they can focus all their fire on the Elf's Gaunts. Ooh, again, some really... Oh, but the Shadow Demon kills one of the Gaunts. Some really good micro out of both players here. Trying to micro back weak units. That Skull of Shudda getting a Fiend, that's really good because that pushes these Fiends back, or these Gaunts back, sorry. That weak Gaunt doesn't want to be up at the front. And... wants to have a few more Gaunt buddies around. That Hexen, I think, has really actually made the difference, even though it's not a huge DPS. That one Skull of Shudda and just having a little extra. And now, oh, immediate focus fire on the weak Gaunt. Managed to kill that. So again, great micro. Nice pullback, but still being able to kill that weak Gaunt. And even with the nice micro out of Elf, we're getting just comparably good micro out of Theory. Really good micro. And so many low. Look at that. All four of those Gaunts are low. And we have a few more Gaunts moving in here, but yeah, that's a good game out of Elf. All right, here we are in game 2 of this best of 3 series between Elf and Theory. Again, played out in the Logitech Plays tournament. And we saw Theory take first game off of Elf, so Elf's hoping to tie it up this game. Here, Elf is... Or, sorry, this is Theory actually in the red Infernal, and here Elf is in the blue Infernal. And Elf opening Conclave, chopping down the trees, similar style she's used on Broken Crowns so far in this tournament, and it looks like Theory's doing the same thing. And we have a Hexen coming in this back door. I wonder if that's pathing, if she sent her Hexen that way. Walking in, seeing two Conclaves. Hexen walking in here, seeing a single Conclave. And this other Hexen teleporting back in time to say, skedaddle, get out of here. You're not welcome in these pots. And a couple of Gaunts also going to chase away. Get out, get out. And actually, they're actually coming down here to do some creeping. Theory trying to get in on this, trying to tank. What a nice guy saying, don't worry, I will tank those for you. I think he may have got last hit on that. That weak Mastiff. If so, good job teleporting out of there just in time. And now just some remaining creeping. Well, coming to join his own Gaunts in their own creeping efforts over here. So maybe getting a last kill and stealing one of those Shadow Mastiffs. So getting 25 minerals, 25 Luminite. That was denied to Elf. And sometimes those little boosts are all you need to get ahead in this game, because players like Elf and Theory have these builds down pretty well, that they're spending their Luminite quite well. Actually, yeah, as I say that, both of them have a little bit of a bank up there. Nothing crazy like I have, which is like 2k. Hopefully not 2k at 2 minutes in, or else that means I've been AFK for 2 minutes. All right, creeping the health up here while Elf creeped out the vision camp with the help of her farm. She's staying fairly consistent with her builds. I think she's got something that she likes, and we've been seeing a lot of Infernal versus Infernal out of her. That's the matchup she's been drawing into. So at least she's been able to practice this build. Her second base going down here where she's preferred it before, while Theory's going for the more natural. And we see, well, he had that second Conclave out there for a while now. That was right off the bat. So Theory has been building out of 2 Conclaves, which means a little bit more production. And Elf healing up. Healing up, she's got, what, she got 6 Gaunts here. Well, it looks like 8 up here for Theory. So again, producing out of 2 Conclaves only has kept him a little bit ahead there. So he is getting some good fiends from those Skull of Sheddas, and was able to take out the Skull of Shedda. But it was just a Scout Skull for Elf. It's always nice to let it land on one of your opponent's units, granting you that vision for, can't remember, maybe 5-10 seconds, and giving that infest. Hogs versus Fiends. They're both kind of free units, but for some reason Fiends seem more expensive. So I'd run my Fiends away from Hogs too. And the good old creeping and sort of glitching out the Luminite camp over here. Looks like a Scout Fiend getting in the base, seeing the Ritual Chamber. Also stealing the health camp. And the army of Theory not getting a lot bigger, because it looks like he is now turned to more of a macro play. So putting up a third base already, and partially saturated bases. Battling over these towers with their fiends. Again, one reason why Elf likes to put her farm here is it holds this tower for you. And I don't think effigies hold the tower. Because effigies count as buildings, and buildings themselves don't capture the tower. It's not the farm that does the capturing, it's the fell hogs that spawn next to it. That's why you don't see, for instance, power banks going down there, or habitats. Of course, power banks are still sometimes useful forward as forward buildings, and habitats I don't think are particularly useful out there. Unless we're going to start seeing scout habitats or scout depots like we've seen in StarCraft. And now we're got in a battle, and we got a really nice concave out of Theory, actually. And some of Elf's units were caught attacking an effigy. But it looks like Theory is moving back. He's got a nice Nightfall infestation there, getting a slow on these Gaunts. So, they're trying to microwave, but the slow And that's it. GG. Well played out of Elf in game 2. So this series going to theory.